Alright, welcome back to the Stutzman channel. My name is Terry. If you watched the last video, we did a diagnostics on this here 2001 Ford Escape 2-liter engine. We found out we had a bad fuel pump. In this video, let's go ahead and change that fuel pump out. Before we get started on this here fuel pump replacement, I wanted to note the mileage on the car. For safety's sake, we're going to be removing the fuel pump relay. If you want to be a little bit more safer, you can actually remove the DC negative cable off of the battery. So in my case, I'm just going to do the fuel pump relay. Alright, now this is where we left off, where we took out the 4 screws. And let's slide this cover back. Now let's work on these here connectors. Now one of them I've already taken loose, which is this one here for the fuel pressure tank sensor. Or fuel tank pressure sensor. To get that one, just push down on this, slide it back. This one here, it's like we have a tab, little piece sticking right out there. Push down on that, and then pull that apart. Yeah, that'll probably be out of our way. Alright, we got a lot of crap on the top of the tank here. Let me get a vacuum cleaner and I'm going to suck all this stuff off the top of it. A lot of debris, dirt, acorns, and whatnot. Now there might be a little residual pressure in here, so I'm just going to take and put some rags around here just in case some fuel was to come out. Now if you guys have a fuel pump you're changing and you know you got pressure, you can pull your fuel pump relay, crank it up, let the engine run, and then it will turn off. It will, cut off because it ran out of fuel. Then at that point, then you can go back and crank it for about another 5 seconds or so. Then you can relieve the residual pressure that's going to be in there. Now it looks like we have these here little keepers on the side. So this here, we'll press them in, and then we'll kind of work this thing back. We had just a tad in it. And then we got this one over here. Same setup. Squeeze that. Let's see if we can slide them off. Alright, so now we got to get this here ring off. And what we got to do here is you can use a drift punch. You can probably tap on it. Well, I had a tool, but it was for my Ford Ranger. Turns out it doesn't fit. So we're back to the old-fashioned method. I'm using a brass drift punch hammer. Here was the green lines. They were lined up. And I'm going to tell you, this some bitch on here tighter than, well, somebody come up with a good metaphor.
Just don't hit me. Wow.
Alright, so I'm going to continue this around till I get this thing loosened up. And when I get ready to pull it off, then I'll cut you guys back in. So I think I got it broken loose now. Let's put him over there. Now let me go get a pan. Just lifting it up now. Get that sending unit. Damn, full tank of gas. Alright. This is a fuel pump number I'm using. It's Motorcraft. And then here's going to be the fuel pump. Just going to replace it all.
Ooh.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to be removing these pieces here. New fuel pump didn't come with it. So you just lift this piece up to get it over that ridge. And then try to turn it around without it snapping back in place. I got another one over here. Without these things breaking.
Oh, there you go.
And then let's transfer it over to this one here and slide him on, and then that locks them in place. And then we're going to repeat the process for this one right here. You take the other one off, same process, and then transfer it over to this one. Okay. We're going to be using a new gasket on here. There's the number for you. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of super grease. Just going to put a little bit on the gasket here. And it's just a flat surface on this here flange on the top, so there is no groove for it to sit in per se, not up here on this, maybe on the tank. Alright, looks good to me. Now let's take a little bit look at the tank here. I looked down in the tank, everything looked fine as far as the fuel. I didn't see any debris. Now, there's a key right here. So that key should fit down into this slot. That's right there. And let's see if we can get this thing on down in there. This thing is spring loaded, okay, and that's pretty much where it's going to sit at. Just cleaning up the lock nut here a little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit of super grease in these threads. Just make it a little bit easier. Maybe the next time, if you ever have to come back off, maybe it'll be a little easier coming out. Okay, I got the key. It's down in the slot. I'm pushing down on it, holding it in place. Now for the hard part. Get this thing started. I told you getting this thing started was going to be the hardest part. And 20 minutes later, it is there. Holy moly! All right, let's continue on with this here lock nut and getting it on down. Okay. A little bit of super grease on the fittings. Okay. Let's get our lines. Let's see that one go. Yep, there we go.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
All right. We gotta push this back through.
Gonna super grease it up.
No, this is a little bit of dielectric grease here.
Oh, okay.
Small one here. Yeah, just a smidgen. I guess how was he? Probably like that. Key is right there. Well, had to find a spot somewhere, won't it? Okay. And then this one should go. Yep. Okay. One last look. Okay, what we're going to do now is going to make sure we don't have any leaks. All right, so Saraya, just turn it to the on position. Turn it off. Turn it on. You can hear the fuel pump running now.
Yeah.
Turn it off. Turn it on. Okay, it looks good to me. I don't see any leaks at all. As I've gone ahead and changed the fuel filter on this, it's the Motorcraft number. I'll show it to you when I get through. I didn't film this part. It's really tight to get up under here. All right, I'm checking for leaks. Okay, so Ray, turn it to the on position. Turn it off. Turn it on. If anybody's interested, there's the Motorcraft fuel filter number for this here job. Yeah, there you go. Get the glare out. All right. Tuck them down there. Okay. Now let's go get the screws. And then put your 4 Phillips screws back in place. Okay. Go ahead and crank it up. Make sure it's in neutral. That's going to wrap this one up. Engine sounds pretty good. Crank right up as you saw. The only hardest part about this job was getting that lock nut off, and worse, getting it back on. Because whatever I did to get it back on, you know, trying to get it started, it would always try to cross thread. So I kept on, and finally when I got it cross threaded, and you knew it was cross threaded, I just went over to the other side where it was raised up too high, and I just pushed down on it, and then it just snapped in place, snapped onto that thread. Then at that point, then I was able to turn it on. So anyway, just a tip there to help you out if you ever have to do this job. Okay, you guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.